Hey guys, it is July 2026 and welcome back to Living Luxury in Las Vegas with Carey. I am real estate agent at Keller Williams Marketplace here in Henderson, Nevada, and we are joined with Miss Lisa Torres again. Lisa was one of our guests in the beginning of this year, first quarter in January. We just touched a little bit about what's happening and what is the difference. What's the difference between the Las Vegas market and Northern California market, California in general. Lisa works everywhere in California. So welcome back, Lisa.
Hi.
How are you doing? How's everything?
Amazing. And it's great to see you and see you thriving in your marketplace. And yeah, I'm excited to see what's going on in Vegas because we have so much migration that happens between the two places, right?
Right.
More so of people, we get people migrating out of California more than Vegas
Yes.
residents moving to California unless they're moving back. I think moving back is a big one because that does happen a lot.
Yes, and honestly, there's always like in Vegas. I mean, mind you, let me remind our audience that I am originally from California. That's how Lisa and I know. So I know that there's a lot of Vegas people who are like, oh, I wish all those California people would go back to California. Well, all I have to say about that is that all the California people coming to Vegas is what's making the economy what it is. So it actually, on the flip side, all these Californians coming to Vegas is creating more businesses for people, more restaurants, there's just more opportunity, more economy, more growth because of the large migration from California to Las Vegas. Just have to put that out there.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, there are a ton of people, especially from the Bay, that are moving to places like Summerlin or Henderson, the hotspot where you're at,
Yes.
and all the other nooks and crannies in and around that area.
Yeah.
But ultimately, people still love there's nothing that's going to replace California.
Nope.
I mean, I just crossed over the Golden Gate Bridge the other day, and when I drove in, it was the most picturesque day. It was 70 degrees. It was sunny. It was beautiful. It's just one of those feelings that you're like, this is why I deal with.
Yeah, and that's why everybody migrated to California back in.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, California was a land of opportunity back in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, even the 80s.
And it is right now with AI, honestly. People are coming back to San Francisco, to the Bay Area, because these are where everyone is. The main ones are headquartered, and people are back in office. So there's less and less remote work.
Yeah.
And if you want to be in that industry, you do have to be in and around that atmosphere. And so there's a lot of people that were in tech. They moved away during COVID, when everyone went remote, and San Francisco took a massive hit. But in the last year, San Francisco median home values increased by 18% this last year.
Wow.
18%. Now that's not across the board. Those are the averages from all the pockets. But I mean, just overall, I think almost every single sector increased at least some, where other places throughout the US have taken dips.
Right. We're actually right there with you too. I mean, Las Vegas is one of the highest growing cities in the nation. Before we get too deep into that, let's recap on
Mhm.
what brokerage you're with, how long you've been in real estate, so everybody knows. I mean, everybody knows now that you and I are you're in the Bay Area. I'm in Las Vegas. Let's recap again about where you're from, where your focus is, who you focus on, and how
Yeah.
long you've been in the business.
Yeah. So my name is Lisa Torres. I'm with EXP Team Fast. We are based in Oakland and we service all over the Bay Area down from San Jose to Sacramento and Stockton. So we cover a large territory and I'm everywhere, especially now as an empty nester. It's really nice to be able to move around like I've never been able to before. So people are always asking me like, "Oh my gosh, you're over here and then you're over there and where are you where do you live?" So I am still based in Sacramento primarily, but honestly, I feel like most of my time because I do have someplace where I stay out in the Bay. So I am there a lot, like a lot, probably 50, 50 to 60% of my time lately has been Bay Area. So if
So,
not,
and how long have you been in real estate?
so I started in 2004, 2005 as a lender. And then I moved over to the sales side right after the Great Recession, or right around that time, around 2008-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've always had my real estate license. So back then, you either worked under, a larger brokerage, an umbrella to do loans, or you had your real estate license. And that's how things ran back then. So I've always had my real estate license.
Okay. All right, perfect. So I'm glad now that everybody's got the retouch, the knowledge on Lisa again, if you didn't see our last podcast. So let's go back to what we were talking about. What trends are you seeing in California?
So it is definitely it's a mixed bag where I'm at because every market is every neighborhood is moving a little bit different. But ultimately right now it's more of a buyer's market overall. Even with areas that have traditionally been high seller markets, they still are, like places like Berkeley, San Francisco, things like that. But it looks a little bit different right now. There's more negotiating power on the buyer side. There's more time, there's a little bit more time, not a lot, because I just had someone who, they had to make a decision within 2 days whether or not they were going to move forward or not. So it is really a mixed bag, but overall, it is not as it's not as crazy as 2021. So I tell people there's good and bad to every single market. So right now, the positive is that buyers are able to take their time, do more due diligence, and make sure that they know exactly what they're getting into. I just had a buyer who we got into contract. We knew that there was some things going on with recent repairs. We dug into it a little bit more, found out there was way bigger issues than we wanted to deal with, and so we canceled and we're moving on. But that is where things are at. And if she wanted to negotiate, it was too big of a ticket item, or too many ticket items, that we just didn't want to bother with something dealing with that many repairs. And that's what buyers have more opportunities right now to take advantage of more credits, more negotiations, things like that.
I'm seeing a lot of similarities in Las Vegas too. I actually just had a client that canceled on 3. We actually went through 2 homes until we finally found his
That's
his
thing right now.
third one was the one. So, just the fact that in each opportunity, each offer, he was getting large concessions from the sellers too, not only just in closing, but also in repairs. And he's, yeah, was able to just say, yeah, no, I'm not quite happy. I'm not quite happy, even though it kind of broke the seller's hearts a little bit. And he ultimately ended up getting the house that he wanted, which kind of stinks on the seller side, but we're seeing the same thing out here as well with the buyers too. I mean, our market is kind of flat. We have more like resale inventory, not necessarily new build inventory. Our builders have kind of backed off a little bit. But there's a lot of resale opportunity as well. So where are you seeing your buyers come from? Are they local Californians? Are they coming in from other states? I mean, I know both of our states are kind of difficult to move into because of affordability now. Vegas used to be one of the states in the nation that a lot of people were migrating to because it was a little bit cheaper. But now Southern Nevada is kind of running alongside with California, maybe not as high. Of course, we have the taxes people are able to save on state tax, but our price points are running pretty close to everybody in California. So where are you seeing your migration coming from? Is it coming from other parts of the state, or are they coming from maybe different countries, or what are you seeing?
It's a little bit of both. And we do have people moving in for these larger sectors like tech is still bringing people in. But I would say most of the movement is probably just movement around California. And I also see a lot of homes being consolidated, whether it's a more multi-generational living, more people moving in with family members.
Okay.
Especially the aging community is also having a massive impact on consolidating households right now. So that's we're seeing a lot of not necessarily downsizing, I would say right sizing.
Okay.
Right? Right sizing your home is the big one right now.
Gotcha. So you're seeing a lot more combined incomes, families actually living together more now,
Right.
maybe
Right.
purchasing larger houses.
Yes. I've had a lot more inquiries on multi-generational living, homes with ADUs. That has been probably one of my biggest ones this last
Do you
year.
see a lot of current homeowners creating ADUs on their properties for rental or income purposes?
Oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. More so, I'm seeing it on the investment side. So someone may purchase a fixer, turn the garage into an ADU, and then resell it to someone that's going to utilize the space better. So I don't see the homeowners doing it as much as the investors that are converting the types of housing that we're seeing.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had a lot of people wanting to relocate out of state where you're having to get referral business and working with other referral partners out of state, or?
None, I hear about it a lot more than I am seeing it myself, but it's definitely out there. It's definitely in the conversations. So Nevada and Arizona are big ones in my market.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, and it's crazy. Arizona has also started to become on that list too, where it's getting a little expensive to live in Arizona as well.
Yeah, a lot more. A lot more friends that moved out
all
there.
three states are just kind of,
Yeah.
It's like I left California, but I kind of didn't leave California. So it's, you know,
We've merged on over.
we could just merge Nevada and Arizona into California because we're everybody's like dispersing. So,
Yeah.
um, uh, so since you're not dealing with a lot of people migrating out of California, um, let's move on because my questions, since we're not super on that topic, because I was going to ask you a little bit what you're seeing about people moving out this way. Um, I don't.
Well, I think we should talk about your market because there is movement. I'm not seeing me personally. I haven't come across it a lot, but I am hearing about it. So it is happening. There are folks leaving California to be, I mean, because that there's a number of things that are attracting folks to Nevada from, let's say, the Bay Area, right? So we have an aging population that are in homes that they don't need as large of a space any longer. They're tired of sometimes if they're in the Bay and San Francisco and they want warmer weather for just personal comfort, right? They actually enjoy the heat more than the fog. And then the tax savings, right? So you got the tax savings, you've got warmer weather, you got more affordability. So we do have a lot of folks moving out to those areas. So maybe you can share with us what, because you know our areas so well, you know what San Jose and Fremont and all those areas are like, right? You lived there. And now, how would you explain the living conditions to, let's say, Summerlin or Henderson?
So, if I were to describe Southern Nevada to someone who was migrating from California out here,
Let's say San Jose.
okay, we're
Perfect.
perfect. Somebody moving from tech out to Las Vegas. There's a lot.
Maybe retiring, or they've been in that area, Silicon Valley, for the last 20, 30 years. They're retired now, and now they want more bang for their buck.
Right. So total Las Vegas is a great place to move for retirees. Henderson, you've got Sun City Anthem, you've got Sun City Summerlin. There's all kinds of high-end and not so high-end, but really nice retirement communities that are totally active out here. Actually, I just went to this new retirement community up in Kyle Canyon, which is north of Summerlin, and is one of...
Did you take me there?
I haven't. This is a brand new development. Mind you, Mount Charleston is like the place that all Las Vegans go to get away from, right? It's like 45 minutes from Las Vegas, and you're literally up in the mountains. And there's they're building a brand new ski resort, and you get to go up there during the summer and sit in the snow and drink your hot cocoa and go to the bar, and they have little cabins and stuff. So there's a new community that's being built at the very bottom of this of the mountain. It's like kind of going off the 15 to go up into Mount Charleston, and there's a 55 plus community there. That is awesome. I just visited it last week. I just posted it on my Instagram story. It is probably one of the most cracking off retirement community.
We're only what?
I'm like, I'm touring this community.
Ready.
I'm turning 51 this year, and I'm like, I don't know, should I buy a house in this place? Like, these people are getting together. They are doing their thing. There's happy hour. There's a restaurant. There's a resort style pool. I mean, people are getting together. They're doing their thing.
And it's funny you mentioned that, because that's exactly what I'm doing. What I have started to do this last week and this next week are visiting all the retirement communities, because we are getting to an age where there's so many more aging seniors that are in these large homes that they don't want to deal with anymore.
Yeah.
And it's so for what I am seeing, what I'm experiencing is that there is such a high need, kind of like when we go and we tour new builds and we are advising our clients as like what amenities, what pockets will fit, their lifestyle, their needs. It's the same thing for our seniors, right? They also need us to help them with transitioning to some of these other communities.
These communities in Vegas,
residences and whatnot.
Yeah, these communities in Vegas, they're literally like, you've heard of like the blue
resorts,
the blue zones in the world, right? While these people are living past 100 because they have community and stuff like that. And I've seen communities like that in Las Vegas where there is a lot of community, and it's and mind you, this is not like your run-of-the-mill retirement or
what we think of like nothing against bingo guys, but
like, with the pastel wallpaper and all the horrible, like, I don't know, everything's painted yellow, and it's a little scary. No, these are like community,
vibrant and active, and fun,
like luxury, gorgeous, like desirable, like holy. You're not 55 and you're like, dang, I want to buy a place in here, but I'm not allowed in the club yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
that kind of like community. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, in Vegas, just in general, I talk about moving back home to California all the time, just because I miss California, right?
Yeah.
But, on the flip side with Las Vegas, there's so many things happening here, so many things that are connected to California. We've got the A's coming here, and a brand new baseball facility with just like a hub all around it. I'm forgetting what it's called, but it's gorgeous. It's right on the Las Vegas Strip in Tropicana. They literally tore down the Tropicana to build this thing for the A's, and it's just gonna be like social clubs, food, just restaurants. So there's just so many things that are available here for the people that live here, which is kind of like,
that's amazing.
Yeah, which is kind of like California. California, you've got all these hidden little gems, hidden little mom and pop places to go eat, and you love your community because it's like you're part of it, and all these little little restaurants.
Gems. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
like you're walking into Cheers and it's like Norm.
Right. In
where everybody knows your name.
Yeah, and even though Las Vegas is a huge city, it really is kind of a small city still. You know what I mean? Like there's 3 million, I think close to 4 million people here, but in the end, it's like, especially working in real estate, I end up running into the same people all the time. It's and you go to the same restaurants, and it's like a kind of like an unspoken thing because we're kind of in a bowl, right? So it's not so spread out like the Bay Area or Los Angeles, where it's like, oh, I'm living in San Diego, but I've got to go to Irvine to go, check out this restaurant. Like Vegas is just so confined in this little bowl that when there's little hot spots, everybody knows about it. But it's like a local community, so it feels small, even though there's like 4 million people here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I mean, it's desirable to move here. So,
and it's growing, right? Just like Sacramento. When I come back to Sacramento, it's amazing how many new places there are. I went out a few weeks ago and went down J Street, and I must have saw 3 or 4 places that I had never seen before. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I need to check out this spot. I need to check out that spot.
Yeah.
And it is wild to see the growth that Sacramento has had, especially in the last 5 years. It's grown immensely.
And you know what, and I think that's great because outside of California, a lot of people think that like, oh, California is just becoming this wasteland and everybody's leaving, and it's just not true,
We're coming back.
Right. And
because it is California.
Right. And you'll never be able to beat the California weather, the people, and the fact that you're seeing an 18% growth. We saw I think it was 14% this past year as well. Even though we're kind of in a flat market, we're still growing, absolutely. There's still people.
And mind you, that is a microcosm of San Francisco. And that a lot of that is attributed to the AI money that's there right now, right? So this is, and we have seen growth not nearly as much throughout the region. So it's much flatter in other areas. One other thing so I was running numbers for Berkeley. I've been in Berkeley quite a bit lately. And it was funny because we have seen numbers dip, but when we look at it, because there's so little inventory, right? And there's so many unique homes. So it's really difficult to take a snapshot of the data set and get a true picture without really delving into each home. Because when you look at each individual home, what I am seeing is price per square footage is going up. So even though it looked like prices came down, I think it was the inventory that was available versus values really coming down as much as it indicated. So those are other nuances that, we are looking at closely in each market.
Have you seen, I know a couple years ago, everybody's inventory was really low. I mean, we were at one point, we had like 7 days worth of inventory. It was ridiculous. How much inventory are you seeing now with where you're at in the Bay Area?
It varies, like, from even one end of Oakland to another, right? So it's all over the place. But overall, we're still extremely low. We're at historic lows. So and that's what's keeping prices as aggressive as they have been and as steady. Because with, rates are going to do whatever rates are going to do. We were hoping for them to come down. They've inched up a little bit more than we thought. Right. But even with that, we thought we would see a little bit more of a dip, but not really, just because we don't have the inventory and there's so much demand still. There's tons of demand.
So I'm just assuming luxury market is just not even a factor, like any kind of luxury market.
It's still, everything is, it's just relative, right? So things are moving, but people are more cautious, and even people in tech it's funny. I have this one client, and they are in the heart of the hub right now. And they are concerned about their job security in the future. Yeah. And the only reason why I say that's funny is because everyone is worried about AI jobs taking over all the other jobs, right? So there's concern overall, and there's more cautious. There's a cautious proceeding that's happening, right? So people are just looking at things But there are also folks that know real estate is a great long-term investment, and they need to settle down or they need to make a move. Berkeley is always a hot spot, and what I'm noticing too is that there's families that are buying property for their children that are attending school, because they know, hey, that is a great long-term investment. It's a great tax write-off. They're housing their child while they're in school instead of paying that, wasting that money on rent. There's just a number of benefits to it. And so I had a condo in North Berkeley that just sold, and it was a parent who bought for their child attending Berkeley. And the condo was like a 5-minute walk to the front steps of Berkeley.
Oh wow, that's a great investment.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, amazing.
I wish I went to Berkeley and my mom, bought me a place, a condo. But
me too. You're not the only.
That would be amazing.
I wanted to go to Berkeley too.
I wanted to go to Haas. That was my dream. Who knows? Maybe I'll do a graduate program. So I don't know. Anyhow.
Right. So let me just, before we run out of time recording here, let me ask another question just quick. And mind you, we'll continue on with more recording, but what do you think, what are the biggest differences buyers should understand between, and we could answer this together. What do you think the difference is between buyers should understand between Las Vegas and the Bay Area? So we've got people who are thinking about moving back to California, or people moving to Vegas. What do you think is the biggest thing for buyers to understand right now?
The biggest thing is just to understand the pocket they're in, really sit down and chat with your agent, because every neighborhood is extremely different. So we're still seeing homes in certain parts of there, especially the places like Rockridge and Temescal and all those popular areas of Oakland. We have that, what do they call it? Aggressive pricing, or trying to spread the net as wide as possible. So they're priced on the lower end of they're priced much lower than what market value actually is. So we will see homes listed at just under $1 million and sell for 1.6, and that's still very common. So just advising, making sure buyers are aware. Now, that is not typical of California. That is a very Bay Area thing. It is not happening in most of Sacramento or other places. Folsom, Granite Bay, if it goes above, it's going to be slightly above. It's not going to be, hundreds of thousands.
And I think that's people understanding the two demographics between the Bay Area and in the Central Valley is completely different.
Yeah. But I will say, for sellers, I remember we were talking about the upfront inspections. I am seeing so much fallout right now, and it's because buyers are able to be pickier, and it's not common for sellers outside of the Bay Area to do pre-inspections. That's why you're having so much fallout, though, because there's all these unknowns popping up, and it's not something that the buyer wants to deal with. And a lot of times it's a much larger cost than the seller is anticipating. Sometimes, there's just no bridging the gap.
Right. Well, and I mean, that makes sense too. I mean, it is.
So it's best to do the inspections up front. That way it's easier to manage moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And that way you know exactly what you're going to deal with from the beginning. And that way you don't.
And pricing wise for the seller, because it's also very disappointing for them to think they're going to net a certain amount, and then it's, you know, $20,000 to $50,000 less because there were all these high cost items that were unknown.
Right. Like disclosing and having it's setting the expectation, right?
Right, setting it.
You actually get into contract. We talked about migration from California to Vegas back to California, which is happening a lot less than the latter.
California to Vegas, yeah.
Right. So let's talk about loan programs. You know, and how people get financed. I think this is a big mystery for most buyers, especially if you're first home buyer. But let's talk about bridge loans. I can guarantee that most people don't know what a bridge loan is. I could probably even say that there are a lot of realtors that don't know what a bridge loan is.
Yeah.
So since you have a little bit of background in bridge loans, why don't we, you know, let everybody know what a bridge loan is and how it can be helpful towards your purchase of a home.
Yeah, it can help a lot of people minimize the stress of buying and selling during a transition, right? Because what happens typically is you are either buying a house before you sell your current home, so then you got 2 mortgage payments going on, or you sell your house and then you're in limbo until you find your next property, or you're in the middle of showing your home while you're living in it and you're trying to live life and it's a mess, right? So a bridge loan, if you have the equity to utilize, so you have to have enough equity to make this work for you. But if you have enough equity, for instance, I knew someone who they owned their home outright and were buying a much less expensive home. So they basically took the equity that they needed, purchased the new home, was able to make that move, sell and move into their new home, and then have the original home vacant and prepped for sale. So when a home is vacant and staged, it sells much faster, right? We know, we see that it's the accessibility. It is being able to get in there, do the minor repairs or upgrades without someone living in that space. And when you have that, it's able to be shown, right? You're not having constraints with my buyer can come see it, but the seller is celebrating something and, you know, they don't want to be disturbed. So there's all those pieces that are completely eliminated. And then they have, so it depends on there's different programs available, like even within a bridge loan. But one that I'm thinking of in particular, you have 4 months to sell the home without any payment. So it's a great option.
Okay.
So, yeah. So a lot of people are referring to it as a buy before you sell.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's like you're
transferring the equity to the new place. Sometimes it is, you know, you're putting a massive down payment, or you're not having to write a contingent offer when you're writing the new purchase agreement, right? Especially on new builds. A lot of times they won't allow it, right? They absolutely will not allow you to be contingent on the sale of your current home.
Right. You would have to be in escrow to actually get into that new build, right? So that's interesting. So if the house is completely paid off, and you're pulling equity from a house that's paid off, which is basically kind of like a refi, right? So now there's going to be a debt against the house that's actually paid off because you've pulled the equity. So you're saying that there's different periods with these different bridge loans as to
so
like to have a payment.
Right. So for the one that I'm thinking of in particular by Cross Country Mortgage, so I have a lender, Patty Goodspeed. She's phenomenal. And it's a loan that they offer, and it gives you 4 months to pay off the loan, before you start, you have a payment. So, yeah.
Do you know if those loans are, the period of non-payment is lenders adjusted due to like average days on market or anything like that? Is that what
I don't know exactly what it's based off of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're not a lender anymore. You're a realtor. Right?
Yeah. I don't work in that world every day.
Right. You stay in your lane, girl. Right? We stay in our lane. We don't go out of our lane. We're not attorneys and we're not lenders and we're realtors. So,
right.
But great.
But it's important to know these options, right? Because the financing piece is the main piece that is going to allow someone to have the opportunities to make a move, right?
Right. And it is tough.
So the more we know about the different programs that are available, the more options we're able to give to our clients, because unfortunately, they come to us as realtors before they do the lender. No. And it really should be the opposite, but it has never been that way and probably never will.
Right. And a lot of buyers will stop when they figure out like, oh, I need financing. Yeah, you need financing probably first, because I don't know. Well, I don't know what because I don't know what you can buy, but financing works pretty good. So yeah, I mean, this is
it depends on the market, right? Because we do come across a lot of cash buyers.
Yeah, and and not so much for us. There's a lot of financing in Vegas going on right now, right? Just because we're starting to see people who have a lot of equity in their homes, and some people have it paid, but not to the amount as people do in California. People who've had their homes since the 70s, 80s, 90s, but the bridge loan is great, especially with such a flat market we have going on right now, because it really does help sellers move forward. Instead of continuing to stall out in the current house that they're in, getting discouraged if there's no viewings, because some of the listings we have in Vegas out here, they sit. I've heard there's several agents that I've talked to where it's like, the houses are just kind of stalling out, and of course there's price adjustments and stuff like that, but even with the price adjustments, they're still stalling. So, it's really the market, days on market, and of course the strategies to get houses sold are definitely there, but then you've got sellers too who are like, oh, well, I don't want to continue to keep dropping and dropping and dropping. So, it's discouraging for the seller to actually move forward when they're not getting offers on their houses, or even showings for that matter, even when you keep reducing. So the bridge loan,
and it's really nice to have because usually what's the biggest issue most of the time, it's that the sellers don't have the liquid cash readily available, right? They're rich in equity, right? And so when they are in the house and not tapping into something like a bridge loan or a line of equity to do, well, one, it's the benefit of them not actually physically being in the house, so they can easily go in and do repairs, renovations, and get the house prepped. Because I'm sure, like our market, your market is probably very similar. So if there is a home that is updated, in great condition, well staged, beautifully photographed. It's selling
Yes.
quickly, right? It's not, those are not the homes that are sitting on the market for 4 or 5 months. It's not, right? And that's the benefit of utilizing something like this, where you can go into the next home without contingencies. You can get into your new home, be settled, and then sell your house with all the benefits of having the cash to do these repairs, to prep it in order for it to sell quickly.
Right. Quickly and at the highest price
And you're right,
point.
right. And get
And
the most amount of money, the most bang for your buck.
right. What exactly? And then that's a little nugget that, you know, sellers do need to, hopefully if this gets out to anybody who is selling their house, the best way to do it is to just put your house's best foot forward. You do want to think of your house as a model home. You want to depersonalize it as much as possible, make it attractive, fix things, because our style isn't necessarily everybody's style, right? So
I will say a good cleaning and no smells is extremely important. I can't tell you how many times I have gotten one of my buyers a phenomenal deal because of maybe really soiled carpet that, could have just been ripped out and replaced by a inexpensive carpet, or laminate flooring, whatever, something. Right. So there was this one house, and the seller shampooed the carpets. And mind you, they had dogs. I don't know how many dogs. They had dogs. Big dogs, something, but it was an atrocious smell throughout the house. And they had just that, I don't think it was professionally done, because the carpets were soaked. And so the odor of wet dog, was out the house.
Yeah.
And nobody wanted to buy that. It was a great location, but it just turned off so many people. And when you prep the house well and you have it clean, same thing with my buyer that I just worked with. She found a house, and it was literally just a really good cleaning compared to another house. And it made all the difference in her wanting to put an offer in on this house versus the other house that was not prepped well. Right. So sellers, do yourself a favor, do a great professional cleaning. So well worth it.
Yeah, and it is totally a favor for yourself, because me as well. Anytime I'm taking a buyer out, if I see anything that's even sideways a little bit where I can negotiate a price for my buyer, it's going to happen.
We're gonna
it will be written in the offer, and if it's not written in the offer, it will be written in the request for repairs. So yeah, sellers, do yourself a favor, just clean the house, get the smells out, minimize
there's a lot. And my first mentor would always say the fastest, least expensive improvement you can do is a deep cleaning.
That's right. And it's the cheapest. That's the cheapest way to go too. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody's looking for a turnkey. They want to just move right in and not fix anything. So, okay, on to the next. On to the next. So the misconceptions. What misconceptions do you think buyers have about financing?
That if you have a loan, you can get any property you want, including mobile homes. So you cannot buy a mobile home with an FHA loan. That is that you don't own the land to. So if it's a manufactured home, yes, you can. But so it is very important to sit down with your lender, find out what your budget is, and then also what type of loan you have, because it is going to make a difference in the types of properties that we should be looking at.
Right. That is true.
But one great option, if you are FHA, you can utilize something like a rehab loan. So that's something that my buyers are looking into more and more. Now, there is a flip side to that. Just because you have options to go after these homes that are traditionally like cash only, you are also going up against cash buyers. So be strategic with your agent, and it will minimize the headaches. You don't want to go after the lowest price home in the hottest market. It's not going to be fun, let me tell you.
Get beat out. Yeah. So yeah, and definitely don't want to break any hearts, for sure.
There are so many opportunities. So looking for homes that have been sitting for a little bit, that are cash only or need quite a bit of work, a rehab loan is a really, really phenomenal option, especially in this market where it is more buyer focused.
So describe what the rehab part of the loan is. Because people are not going to know the difference between a rehab loan and an FHA loan. What does a rehab loan do for the buyer?
So a rehab loan will qualify you to purchase a home that has heavy repairs that are needed that wouldn't qualify for your traditional FHA purchase, right? Let's say the roof is shot and it's not financeable, it can't be insured. Let's say the HVAC system isn't working, and that's also, another issue that's coming up. A rehab loan will allow you to make those types of repairs. So you're basically adding whatever amount for those repairs onto the loan. And then you get bids, contractor bids, and then have the repairs done as soon as you close escrow. So you can still close in 30 days. And then you're getting a home that you are basically building immediate equity from.
So if I were to be asking you this and wasn't a realtor and didn't have any information or knowledge about real estate and buying houses, that to me would sound like an investor loan. Now, even though I wouldn't know, does that mean that I have to go get an inspection and find out what's wrong with the house before I can actually get this loan? So all those costs can be tied in to that loan. Like as someone who wouldn't know, are there steps with that I would have to do as a buyer to
You're still doing, and I think in most markets, the buyer has to do the inspections, and that's always going to be an upfront cost that they're going to.
Okay, sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
And I believe the minimum down payment is don't quote me on this. I will link it in my link tree with more information, but I believe it's 5% down payment. But I mean, to get into a home, because a traditional, let's say a hard money loan, right? You're putting 25-30% down minimum, right? To get into something that is, more of a cash only type of situation. So to be able to get that much financing is phenomenal.
Okay, that's good to know. A lot of people would want, especially homeowners who are looking to diversify their profile and add more real estate to their profile, you know, that loan is something that investors or just trying to, like me, I'm turning into an investor. Like I'm buying additional properties besides the property I live in. These kind of loans would be the type of loans that most people who want to make their profile bigger need to know about. So yeah, that's great. I need to know a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I don't know the specifics about that because it is an FHA loan, and FHA is your primary residence.
Right.
So,
Right. Okay.
yeah.
Everybody
I
that
want to make sure it's primary residence.
yeah, so everybody who's looking to expand your real estate profile, you know, definitely ask about those
Different options that are available. Yeah. Yeah.
for investor loans. I know I'm currently approved for a DSCR loan. So
Yeah, those are great.
that's another one too, where you're paying the interest rate just for a period of time. But there are some other setbacks about that too, like prepayment penalties and stuff if you decide to flip it and turn it. So that necessarily, those kind of loans are more for
long-term.
like a long-term buy and hold, buy and rent, that kind of thing. So a lot of good information about loans for investors.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about, since we're talking about expanding our real estate portfolio, let's talk about building wealth through home ownership. This is a huge thing, and this is any person who's buying a home for themselves. This is definitely something that they need to know more about. This is something your realtor should be talking to you about within your first home purchase. The benefits of owning homes and owning, not necessarily just to get out of rents and to own a house. I mean, it goes so much further than that. So your agent should be talking to you about expanding your real estate profile, because this is where you're going to build generational wealth, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So the question is we as realtors obviously believe home ownership is important because that's why we got into this business, right? So let's talk about how real estate can help families build long-term wealth. Like what are different options after they get into their first home, and what does it look like after they buy their first home? Like, how do they build wealth after this? Several. I can think of
so many layers to this.
Yes.
Let's get your perspective first, because I'm going to go off on a million different tangents on, I think your first home purchase should be a multifamily, a 2 to 4-plex. It's my personal opinion. I think if I were to do this all over again, I wish I would have bought a duplex as my first purchase, because the truth of the matter is when you buy a starter home, a single family, it's going to take an enormous amount of time to build up the amount of equity you need to then pull out and put it as an investment, because you need 20% down and reserves to get into your first investment property outside of your primary. So when you purchase a duplex as your first home purchase, a lot of us are coming from small places. We're living with family. We are living in an apartment. We have a roommate when you buy your first home, right? So just staying in that sort of space for another 2 years is a game changer, because you are getting in with, 3.5% down versus 20%. And then you stay in that. Hopefully, you can do modest renovations, improvements to it, and then move on. So for me personally, I think buying a 2 to 4plex as your first purchase is one of the best things you can do for your long-term real estate portfolio, and then build from there. That's going to give you so much more options and flexibility, versus buying a primary and then trying to save enough money to pull out of that, which people do all the time, right? But it's a longer journey than the latter.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about our duality of our markets now, because in Vegas there are not a lot of duplexes, right? There are not a lot of multifamily homes. So, and honestly, since COVID, we've a lot of homeowners here, and I would think in California too, have seen an increased bump in equity, right? So yeah, so we're talking about building wealth. I've actually had quite a few people from out of state ask me, hey, I want to search for multiplexes or duplexes or something like that in Las Vegas. And a lot of these structures are older buildings. They're in 60s, 70s. Mind you, like this is a duality about California, and Las Vegas, right? So in California, we have a lot of houses that are 100-year-old houses that have been rehabbed and beautiful. There's a lot of duplexes, a lot of multiplexes that are great, right? So since we're addressing California audience and Las Vegas audience, and and probably other parts of the nation too, since we are
or less, right? Yeah. It is
right
more challenging to find a duplex that you want to be in. It's more of, just think of it, it's going to most likely be somewhat of a sacrifice for the first couple of years to get in, and then you move around from there.
Right. And a lot of people don't realize, like, well, with the equity growth that did come in during COVID, there is a lot of equity that can be leveraged. Definitely the multiplex, you're actually 100% right. If I could
go back and redo it.
If I could buy a multiplex, live in the larger unit for a year, rent out the other units, buy it as my first home, and then leave the next year and buy another house and leave that multiplex as amazing, amazing. And honestly, like in California, you guys have a lot more inventory on those type of buildings than we do here in Las Vegas.
There was a duplex in Oakland that I highlighted it at one point because it was a beautifully renovated duplex, and with what was it? With the NACA loan that you could have gotten for that home and the rents that it would command, you could have been living in Oakland for, I think it was like $3,000 a month, which is really, to be a homeowner in Oakland at that price point is rare, because price points are just so high,
right.
in the
yeah.
But yeah, so there are definitely ways to maneuver things, but you have to study the market and be a little flexible.
Right. So as we're talking about building wealth, just so everybody knows, even though the multiplex is a great way to start.
Yeah. I would say getting in to the market is probably the most important thing, because what I have seen from, early 2000, when I had purchased my first home, to today is decade over decade, even with the dip of home values during the Great Recession, we have seen home values nearly double every decade, and so are rents. So the mortgage that you're paying today is going to be the rent that you're paying tomorrow. So just keep that in mind.
100%. 100%.
And I wholeheartedly will always believe in home ownership. People are like, oh, you're a realtor. That's why you say this. I bought my first home before I knew anything about real estate. I wasn't a realtor. I didn't have a blueprint. My mom had never been a homeowner. And I just saw the market move, and I don't know what made me see things the way I did at that time. But I saw that the person I was dating the year before had just bought a house, a brand new build in North Natomas. When North Natomas was just being developed, they bought a brand new home for $150,000. Within 1 year, I bought a house that was 15 years older and like 10% more. Yeah. So just that is the and rates were 7.5%.
Yeah.
So people that are complaining about, oh, there's rates are 2% anymore, I don't know what to tell you, but we will probably never see 2% again unless half the world implodes. And
those days are gone. And honestly,
it was an anomaly that happened.
You're never gonna have the right answer of when is the best time to buy a house.
It's that whole saying of when's the best time to have planted a tree 10 years ago or today. It's the same. I truly believe that with real estate as well. Yeah. Get in when you can, because it just gets harder and harder and harder. I don't see any of my clients that waited and it was a much better situation. It was a different situation, usually tougher, but then they said, I'd rather get in now than never.
Right. The best time to get in is when you
and here's the other piece to it. So
yeah,
I hear a lot of times where someone is saying, well, what if I lose my job, or what if this or that happens? Same thing can happen when you're renting. So it is more about where you think your floor is for your income and income potential. So as long as you're secure within your career and you can afford the payment, I think that is the best time to get into a home.
Agreed, 100%. And I always tell my first time people, if you're paying mortgage already. It's just not yours.
Yeah.
So,
and then,
right?
Someone who bought, maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But at some point, so I had a client and he was a Spanish speaker. So unfortunately, he said it in Spanish, but he had a message that I just loved and resonated so well. When he bought his first home in, I want to say, late 90s, early 2000s in Southern California, he was paying $500 in rent at the time. And his mortgage jumped to, I think, $1,200. So at that time, it was a huge stretch. So from $500 to $1,200, 30 years ago, it felt heavy. It was a lot to take on, but he did it. And now he made a joke. He's like, I could work at McDonald's and pay that payment easily if I needed to.
Yeah.
But his income has grown exponentially since then. And now he bought a home in Northern California and it was, 5 times that amount. But he also knows, like, in another 10 years, he's going to appreciate the value where he's at compared to renting up here. So he still has the home in Southern California, but now he has purchased something up north, and it's great for him to know and value that the home values have traditionally increased and nearly doubled every decade. So,
and he leveraged his home, correct?
no,
Oh, he
he
didn't leverage his home.
he kept all the equity in the home. He still has that home. He didn't need to. He was able to purchase and make it work without touching the equity in the home in Southern California.
That's impressive. That's awesome. That's really impressive. Going from such, from such a stretch to like now we're at where we're at. It just shows the difference of what we used to make compared to what we make now. So, right? Nobody.
That's the thing is, I think sometimes first-time home buyers think like, oh my gosh, I'm going to, be at this income level for forever. And most people, their income tends to grow over the years. So it becomes more and more comfortable. And then, as inflation happens and prices increase, one thing that they've stabilized is their housing costs.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. So let's talk about, since we're touching about Las Vegas and Los Angeles, the Bay Area, let's talk about us as realtors and referral partners and the importance of referral partners. We'll get into that, but we were just talking about myself personally. So we were talking about the reconstruction loans,
the rehab loans,
rehab loans and
different options. So if you are the primary buyer, right? So if this is going to be your primary home, you can do a rehab loan. I'll get the details to that. Actually, someone just sent me a slide deck and I didn't realize we were going to discuss it. Otherwise I would have reviewed it. But basically, the rehab loan is for your primary residence, and that is going to allow you to buy a home that you traditionally wouldn't be able to buy with conventional financing because of the repairs needed. So there's only so much risk that a bank will take. But with this type of loan where you have that built into the loan, then you can get into the house. So you're not paying the base price of just the home, you are also adding on to that the repairs. But the positive to that is that most of the time there are investors that are taking the time, the risk, the money to make these repairs and put it back on the market, and then they're walking away with $40,000 to $80,000 of equity just to do the repairs and take the risk. Whereas you can build that equity yourself and do the repairs with licensed contractors, and then have equity built into your first home purchase, which is an amazing option. But there are also loans that will allow you to I'm getting them a little bit mixed up. So there is the rehab, and then there's also where you can buy a second home with very little down. So you're not having to spend 20% plus closing costs. So there is another loan program. I will find out the name of that one. It is a special program
And this,
where
this
you can
is like
purchase. Yeah.
an investor loan, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like
Well, yes.
a flip kind of loan, right?
It can be an investor loan where it's not your primary residence. You can only have, I think, 2 or 3 properties total under your name to get one of these, but it's an option, yeah. Versus a hard money loan or um, a non-owner occupied loan where you're putting a heftier down payment.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So that's like I said, I'm a brand new investor myself, even though I am have been in real estate for not as long as you, but
You're getting there, you're getting your wings.
So, I think it's just a natural progression of a realtor, or anybody that works within real estate, that investing in real estate is, if you don't own a home and you don't invest in real estate, then it's kind of weird to be a realtor, because this is what you do, right? So you should do it for yourself as well. You should partake in the industry that you actually sell people homes in. So let's talk about referral partners.
Referral partners.
Yeah.
Referral partners are essential to our business, and a good referral partner is gold, because you are basically handing that prized relationship that you have with a client over to somebody else, and you have to trust that they're going to handle them with as much care as you would. So I have had a number of referral partners in the last few years, and there's been times where I have had to help my client pivot because they came to me and said they didn't feel like they were being represented well. And that representation is extremely crucial, right? And it's why I do what I do, because I didn't have good representation when I bought my first house. And so it hits me to my core when I see my clients dealing with something similar. So for me, the most important thing when I'm looking for a referral partner is someone who is going to have a high amount of consideration for my client. Think about what their needs are, not the agent's needs, and just basically that they are more concerned about the client and helping them, guide them through the process, right? And great communication, because I don't know about for you, but for me, I still have a close relationship most of the time happening during the transaction, right? It is usually a close friend or family, or sometimes it is a client that came from, for instance, when I was doing the home buyer education seminars in Southern California and in San Diego a couple years back, with the housing group, that community came to me with a high amount of trust. And so I had to make sure that these clients were handled with extra care because of the trust that they gave to me, because of the community that gave that welcome embrace to me to help them. So the communication is extremely important, and that they are treating them like it's their own client, their family member, is what I'm looking for in a great referral partner.
Me too. And honestly, so when I look for a referral partner, I'm looking for how much experience do you have? how many transactions, I mean, I'm just being for real. I want to know how many transactions you've closed, because at least I know if you've closed a decent amount of transactions, you have experience. So the ball will not be dropped with my client, right? And who in turn is going to be your client too, right? So if I'm handing over a client to you and you're in California and they're staying, obviously I want to have a rapport probably before, and I'm just going to be honest, like before I even have a conversation with you, I'm probably going to look up your stats. I'm going to look up your stats. I'm going to see how long you've been in the business. I'm going to see how many transactions you've closed, and, you know, and then talk to you, and then make sure when, after I find out those stats, when I have the conversation with you, I want to make sure that you and I are the same type of agent, right?
Yeah, same values and qualities.
Right.
Yeah.
Same type of agent, same, right. Same type of ethics, same type of care for our people. Because when I hand them over to you, I'm hoping that you're gonna stay.
It's an extension of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna hope that you stay close to them for as long as they stay in California. Because me on the backside, being in Nevada, I'm still gonna call them and say, hey, how's it going? How's everything going with Lisa? Is she treating you good? Everything great? And I want to hear them say, oh my God, I love her. I love her. She made everything better for, so much easier for me. I was terrified moving to California. She explained everything to me. If I have a referral partner that's like that, I'm like, oh yeah, all day long. If I have anybody that's going to California, guess what? You're getting my business. And vice versa. If anybody's sending any business to me, I want to make sure that they're checking up on their client that they gave to me. I want to make sure that they're checking up on their client that they gave to me and said, Carey's great. Like Carey calls me all the time. Carey maybe calls me a little bit too much. You know what I mean? Carey's maybe giving me too much information about how much equity I have and blah, blah, blah. That is like the perfect referral partner for me. Because it's like, and then these relationships, I want one of those in every single state.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because people are always moving.
People are always moving.
Yeah, people are migrating. People migrate because of inflation, and they migrate because they can't afford stuff anymore. So, like extension. I want extensions of me and my business everywhere. Yes.
Yeah. I will say, I have had a referral partner that was a team lead, high producer, and was phenomenal with my client up in Washington. Did an amazing job, and then I was referred to a top producer in another location for a different client, and they, so for me, a great referral partner isn't necessarily someone who is putting up these crazy numbers. I want someone who's going to treat my client the way I'm going to treat them and give them the same attention. So that's my my greatest concern, my top one priority, because sometimes there are there's agents out there that so I'm not going to go necessarily to the number one agent, because the number one agent may not give my client the attention they need.
That's actually 100% true.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go with the agent that is experienced,
right,
and that is going to care for my client the way I do.
Right. And the top agents, and you're absolutely right about that. Like when you're looking for top agents, and more than likely your client is not going to meet with that top agent. They're going
to meet with the buyer's agent that are 10
That's
agents
right.
away from the
Right.
agent that you originally contacted.
Your client is probably going to be handed down to somebody else on, because a top agent is probably going to have a team. So yeah, and that's the thing too. That's all about the communication, right? When you call these other agents and the referral partners, and are you part of a team? Are you specifically going to? Because I've had that happen too. I've
But
made a mistake in the past of referring clients to out-of-state agents, and they happen to be the agent that is set up to meet my client is not the agent that I talk to. And I've learned that the hard way, because the client ends up coming back to me and saying, well, it wasn't even so and so that you said was going to meet us. It was a man instead of a woman that you spoke to that came out and meet us, and we didn't even know. It was like we didn't. It was kind of scary. So and that in turn reflects badly on me. So it's just like the lack of communication. I do have a fantastic referral partner that is, every step of the way when she's meeting with my clients, she's calling me and she's saying, hey, guess what? I scheduled an appointment with them and they're coming out to meet me. So we're actually working as a team, so she's talking to them and I'm talking to them too. So that way the client doesn't feel confused, so.
And I will say, I have referred to a top agent that understood the dilemma that I had went through prior to. And what they did is made sure that they coupled my client with someone on their team that made sense. So it boils down to the communication piece.
Yeah, absolutely. And what do you think the
benefit? Great top producer agent is still going to handle them with care, even on the handoff.
Right. And how do you think that partnership benefits the clients? So
immensely, because it's important for you to trust that this person understands the market in that location and is able to, right? Because ultimately we want a successful transaction, right? That they get into a home without going through a nightmare of an experience. Right. So
at the end of the day, it's not about us. It's
right.
Not about us.
It's about the client being able to obtain that next goal of home ownership in the area that they're looking.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. So don't be afraid if you guys have a realtor that you love. Trust them to find you realtors in other places if you decide to move.
Yeah.
Most of us
to vet out the next realtor for you.
Yeah.
Because you don't really want to count on Google or even Claude. Right. I love you, Claude, but
yeah, and honestly,
everything
for our people out there listening, if you are relocating to a different state, that should be one of your interview questions to your realtor. What kind of relationships do you have with other realtors in other states?
Yeah.
And easily any realtor is going to say, yeah, of course I do. Well, elaborate. Tell me a little bit more. Tell me who you partner with in other states. So just don't ask, do you have partners in other states? Because if you're relocating to a state you've never lived in before, you definitely want your realtor to be the one that's going to guide you and have someone have your back like your realtor in your state does. So it's just getting a little bit more information, like, well, who do you partner with? How long have you had those relationships? Blah, blah, blah. And then if they don't answer them the way that you want, maybe that realtor is not the person that you need to give referrals to, right? So it's all word of mouth for us, right? And it's all about, with us as realtors, it's all about relationships and building relationships with people out of state. I know, I can't, all I can speak of it too is my brokerage, but we do a lot of networking and having big events, which I'm sure your brokerage does too. But
Yeah.
we have a lot of big events in other states where we get to network with other people and, create those referral partners because it is so important. Because
Yeah.
just
EXP is very big on our the network that we have.
right.
And yeah, unfortunately we're international. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, us too. So yeah, that that relationship of just building, and then of course, like people like me and Lisa, we didn't meet each other at a brokerage. We have friendship from
Yeah,
way
we
before, right? Brokerage. So
talk about
I can,
shared values and
yes, and I can
yeah,
definitely trust my clients with her because
implicitly.
our relationship's a little bit deeper. So so we're coming to the end of our interview today. So I have some rapid fire questions for you.
Let's go.
Okay. Rapid fire.
Yeah.
Quick.
Okay.
Buy now or wait?
Bye now.
Buy now. Yes, agreed. What is the biggest myth about home ownership?
That it's out of reach. It's too hard to obtain. And honestly, it is probably the fear of sitting down and the overwhelm. So I would suggest sit down with your lender. And honestly, I feel like I am here to help you from A to Z. And I have many times over and over again. I have helped clients that didn't have the credit that they needed to get into a home. We worked with them for 6 months, a year, 2 years even, got their credit to a place where they were in a great position to buy, and led them from not being approved to getting their keys. So we're here. A good agent is going to guide you through the journey. If you take it, if you want to
That
go
is
that.
true. Biggest myth. Can't do it, but think of your lender and your realtor as your team.
Yeah, exactly. And please don't go online and try and figure it out on your own, because I don't care what kind of calculator you're on. It's not going to give you an accurate picture. I had a client one year where she thought she was a year or two out from buying a home because she went online and did an online calculator.
Okay.
She spoke with a lender, like I had suggested, and then within 3 months she had keys. So
Yep. Please don't try to do it on your own.
it's literally like
It's too
Googling, a health condition. Don't go see a doctor.
Yeah, exactly. Don't diagnose yourself.
Don't self-diagnose.
Don't use web.
Diagnose.
Don't use web.
But it is a very complicated situation, and everyone's blueprint is completely different. So
Yeah.
it is extremely crucial. And the moment that you even have the thought of, oh my gosh, I wonder if I could, that's when you should go sit down with the lender and your agent and start the conversation.
Yeah, totally. Roadmap all the way. Okay, next one. One word to describe California real estate. One word.
Hot. I don't know.
Hot. Okay. And the next question, I guess, would be for me, is one word to describe Las Vegas real estate. And that would be doable.
Doable.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. So we are totally at the end, everybody. So thank you again, Lisa.
Thanks for having me.
Friends.
It's always a blast having conversations with you.
Yes, and me too. I love talking real estate with you. So
wish you lived closer.
I know. We can Zoom.
Back in our old downtowns. Yeah.
Sacramento days, yes.
Sacramento days.
Well, thank you everybody for coming and hanging out with me. This is Carey Archer-Howell with Keller Williams Marketplace with Lux Living LV and Lisa. And if anybody's wanting to move to California or vice versa, moving out here, yep, call us. Lisa, your contact information real quick.
916-600-4995 or at Instagram handle is Lisa Sells Kelly.
All right, cool. Well, all right, everybody. Thank you for stopping by, and we'll see you at the next Lux Living in Las Vegas. Mwah.